What's up, happy people? You're watching Builder Brian, and on today's episode we're going to be doing a drywall repair. As you can see, this wall is pretty torn up. The paper on the drywall is coming off, the paint's peeling up, we've got some holes, we've got some caulking. We're going to make this wall look brand new. You're going to need some tools. You're going to need a 4-inch trowel, you're going to need an 8-inch trowel, and you're going to need a mud pan. So first things first, we're cleaning up this wall. This is probably the most important step in this process. There's all kinds of debris, and we want to get it all off. I like using my 4-inch trowel just because it's pretty sharp. It's a pretty universal tool. And it works great for getting old caulking off. And here we've got some holes in the wall. We got some drywall anchors that came out, and we're just going to use the back end of our knife and we're going to dimple that into the drywall so we don't have any fuzzies coming out when we go over the top with mud. And take your time with this. We're just going to fine tune everything with our utility knife. Again, this is the most important step, so just make sure this is as clean as possible. Next, we're going to be mixing some mud. This is a fast setting joint compound. It sets in about 20 minutes. And we're using a fast setting joint compound because we're going to be doing 3 coats in one day. This is the product. It's great. I love it. Comes in powder form, and you're going to need to mix it with some water. When you're mixing this stuff, you can always add more water, so just add a little bit at a time. And you want it to be a little bit thicker than pancake batter. About to do our first coat, and we're just going to be getting this mud on the wall. This doesn't have to be pretty. And you'll have to forgive me, I'm up on a 10-foot ladder recording while doing drywall work. So next we're going to take our 8-inch trowel and we're just going to go all the way across the mud that we just applied. And we're only filling the holes. I'm not leaving any excess mud. So once our first coat is dried, we'll go ahead and apply our second coat. And when you're applying your second coat, you can use your 8-inch trowel to get the mud on the wall, your 4-inch, whatever's easier for you. And we're applying a lot of pressure. That first coat filled the holes, but it shrunk, and so we're doing it again. In this third coat, we're using a different product. It's called all-purpose mud, and it's great for doing skim coats. It's not fast setting, so you can take your time. When you put this mud in your pan, you can use a little bit of water, just so this skims a little bit easier. We're getting rid of all those ridges and bumps. Make this third coat as pretty as you possibly can. "24 hours later, we're ready to sand. I like using my 8-inch trowel to get all the ridges and bumps off, just to minimize the sanding. When you sand, it creates a lot of dust, and anything to minimize the dust, I'm in favor of. We're using our sanding block here, and what we want to emphasize in this step is breaking the edges. You're going to want to get a couple of these sanding blocks, especially if you're new to drywall. And when I say break the edges, when you run your hand along the wall, you don't want to feel a transition from paint to drywall patch. It needs to be as smooth as can possibly be. And let's go across the whole patch and get that smooth too. Get the edges, get the center, get it all. Next, we're priming, and you need to use a primer specifically for drywall. The paint you get from Lowe's and Home Depot says it has primer in it, but if you use that, your drywall patch is going to look all chalky because it sucked up all the paint. You need to seal it so when you apply your paint, it sticks to the primer and doesn't get absorbed by the drywall. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, go ahead and like and subscribe. It helps me out greatly. I appreciate you, and see you in the next episode.